Hey PUBG friends, Matrym here, and ESL is heavily underway with 24 teams fighting it out in the group stage. Instead of tackling just one play like we normally do, this time I feel we should maybe spread the love around, and let's take a quick look at some of the big showcase plays that have already happened. Our very first game of ESL Masters gave us a spicy ending with a never give up, never surrender mindset. We're going to kick it off over into the Sonics, out of circle, so crashing in compound over near Barnes. As they did so, they're moving into one of the few covered spots in a very sparse C7. No one in the circle is really moving, so it provides them some cover to provide against Luminosity, previously known as Shoot to Kill, and also gives them some access to some kill points as teams are going to be coming in. The good defensive position was the plan, and Sonics comes in well. Shrimzy holding up the line and picking up a few kill points for Sonics. While all the fighting was going on in the Barns, the Luminosity took a wide control over this circle. Sonics doesn't want to give it up though, even with Luminosity having all of the cards. While it is a 3v3, Sonics is going to have to move into that brutal firing line that Luminosity just set up. Sonics knows Alo is going to be a problem, so decides to smoke him off. He uses this to step in, assuming the fact that Sonics could be coming in for a push down the smoke wall, which is a very common procedure. Sonics, though, decides to move in bulk from their cover spot. Both of these are designed distractions with the hope to fill the comms to let a sneaky mime cross the road and open up their firing angles, which does end up happening. Mixed blessings, though, as Pinta, who would be able to see Mime, sees Shrimzy instead, beat it in on him, and gets the knock. At almost the exact same time, Tiggleton is going to go down. The Sonics plan almost works with Mime having the angle onto Pinta, but can't quite get the down, and now that his position is fully revealed out in the open, Luminosity takes the victory. There are a ton of things that you can take away into your own personal games by watching competitive PUBG. A great example of that is going to be what happens whenever we catch out some extreme angles. What we've got is the stables being held down by Tilttown immediately after defending from a team that just pushed it. And so what Extreme does is he just hops up on top of the stable, looking into the giant hole as well as some of those small cracks to see if he can get some damage into it. That harassment forces a lack of knowledge for Tilttown on what's going to be happening. And the only reason he could do this is trust in teammates who are defending him at range, because let's be honest, sitting on top of that stable makes him a wide open target. So if you're wanting to make sure you try this at home, don't have everybody looking down and have somebody at least trying to defend you while you're up there. Next up, we can see how drive-bys can be a double-edged strat, but sometimes you don't have much choice but committing. In this case, BBB is going to get to the dip first, start unloading, but it's gonna be the Manji game. Where the problem gets really big, though, is BBB is still mostly in their vehicles, and instead of getting a drive-by, get a joust as BBB turns on them in their vehicles. Bing Bang Boom wins this with 2 members still up and 1 knocked, getting 4 kills in the exchange. The issue is, all of those teams that Bing Bang Boom and Tokyo Manji Gang were trying to avoid have now moved forward and still want to play. Oldest Truck is also kind of tired of this whole situation, decides to take off, leaving him with very little cover except for having to chase after it, and almost manages to get away except for the amount of firing angles that are coming after him. Yoho and Immaculate take a piece of both the 2 remaining BBB members, giving up TMG Colton a post-mortem kill as well. Okay, in the first play that we looked at, I felt like we did Mime dirty. But that's okay. We can now look into game number 4 and see where he 1v4s them. I don't even have to explain it. Just take a look. The actions speak for themselves. Our last play is going to actually be a set of plays taking place in day number 2, match number 3 is Wildcard know that they need to move cover and they're going to hop into their UAS and make the run down to it. The issue is they come in too hot, trying to avoid the fire coming out from E United, bounce the Dacia, flip it over, and now what they were expecting to be their cover from E United provides them to be in a cubbyhole of death as E United takes the map. 3 teams down in about 20 seconds, and E United is presently at 13 kills in a 4v2 against Tokyo Manji Gang. It would be insane to say the fact that everything feels like it's in E United's favor. TMG has a nice hillside, but they know they are heavily outnumbered. E United Snakers on top of this has an isolated position to open up firing lines onto the duo. This denies TMG from near on any movement, now being forced right up next to the circle wall itself. Snakers reveals himself to take some shots at Colton, but it's going to be Zealot that has a great read in taking out Snakers, closing up E United's firing line and moving it into a 2v3. E United, though, still holds on to the circle. E United shifts their car to create a cover point between them and TM and have open vision at the top of TM's hill. Snakers' old position where Zealot was playing does provide some opportunity. The hilltop heavily favors E United, and Zealot does a great job of playing this low, slight decline in the hill to move out of E United's vision but get much closer than I think that they were expecting. Tokyo Manji Gang may be about peace, but not this round. As the cover goes flying, Zealot lines up a nade and drops it right on top of Reload. It bounces back into a 2v2. Following up the nade taunt, Zealot in the same breath spins back over and drops kickstart as well. Both team players now beat in on Flood, and 5 minutes of a 2v4 come to a close in Tokyo Manji's favor. We are now halfway done with PUBG America's 2022, but just getting things kicked off. The grand finals coming in for ESLs. We're going to take Latin America and North America, merging back together for some great action. On top of that, don't forget, we've got PCS that's going to be following up after ESL, so action is going to abound all the way into PGC. Till then, though, I will see you on the battleground.